Welcome and thank you for joining us virtually for a press briefing. My name is Kelly Chandler. I'm the Public Health Division Manager for Itasca County. Itasca County is hosting press briefings to highlight themes emerging in our community related to COVID-19 or frequently asked questions posed by our community members. We will begin with an update from our drive-through testing event, which was held on September 23rd at the Itasca County Fairgrounds. We tested 907 persons. 15 of those cases came back positive, which is a 1.6% positivity rate. That rate is lower than we have seen in Itasca County. We have been around 2.5% positivity rate. 300 persons who attended the event either had a close exposure to someone with COVID-19 or had symptoms of COVID-19. 3 of the positives from that day were asymptomatic. Otherwise, all the other positive cases did report symptoms of COVID-19. We are learning about where spread of COVID-19 is occurring in Itasca. The exposures are not necessarily related to one event, but rather multiple events, including gatherings of family and friends, work sites, establishments, including bars and restaurants. We are staying positive as we make it through this marathon we call COVID-19 in Itasca. While we know that schools have had some activity related to COVID-19, whether it be positive students or staff, we're very pleased with the work the schools and their staff have been doing. They have protocols in place, which include masking of students and staff, distancing as much as they are able, and we are pleased to report that at this time we have not had any spread within school buildings. There is commitment to keep kids in-person learning as much as possible. Our 14-day case rate per 10,000 as of September 27th is 22.3. Our school districts are monitoring this rate closely, and we are looking for a trend to determine if they need to make a change in learning model, which would either move to more in-person or more restrictive. And this will be based on trends over a 2 to 3 week period. We thank you, Itasca County families, for your commitment to slowing the spread of COVID-19 and helping our schools stay in person as much as possible. We also, as a positive, have many restaurants and bars that have done a wonderful job of wearing and enforcing masks. They've moved their tables at least 6 feet apart and are following the capacity guidelines. Many have set up outdoor dining spaces. And we're so proud of our businesses who have embraced the changes related to COVID-19 and have made our community members who want to support their businesses feel safe and secure to visit. Today, we will be discussing fall activities that we can do safely, as well as the importance of positivity and resiliency. Our panelists include Melanie DeBay, Community Education Director, Independent School District 318, Joni Namas, Director of Mission Advancement, Itasca Family YMCA, Dan Mell, Activities Director and Dean of Students, Independent School District 316, and Heather Shankin, STEP Coalition Coordinator and Deer River Campus Life Coordinator. For our question and answer portion, we have Jean McDonald, President and CEO of Grand Itasca Clinic and Hospital, joining us. I want to begin with discussing a very important fall activity in northern Minnesota, which is hunting. Our seasons have already started. We are a destination for this activity in Itasca. Similarly to our discussions we had in the spring and summer to travelers visiting our beautiful area, we continue to pass along the same safety messages. We want you to know that community spread of COVID-19 is here in Itasca, and it is throughout the county. There's not one area that has not been affected by this disease. Our spread is associated with gatherings of family and friends, establishments, including bars and restaurants, and work sites. With this information, it is important for all of us to continue to avoid congregating in groups, particularly when you're indoors. Bring supplies with you to avoid extended time indoors, and monitor your own health, as well as the health of those that you may be congregating with. Stay home if you're sick, wash your hands often, wear a mask, and cough and sneeze into your sleeve. I also want to remind everyone it is influenza season. We want to stress the importance of getting your flu shot, which can help to prevent the illness or prevent severe cases, which can lead to hospitalization or death. We want our healthcare systems to not become overwhelmed with both COVID and influenza, and getting your flu shot is one way you can help. Our cases in Itasca County of COVID-19 were at 370 as of 8 a.m. this morning. We have learned more cases will be added within the next day or two by the Minnesota Department of Health. And we have had an additional 2 deaths this past week, a female in her 50s and a male in his 80s. On behalf of Itasca County Public Health, we offer our sympathy to the family and friends of those who have lost their lives due to COVID, and for those who are hospitalized and are having longer-term effects from contracting the disease. We will now move on to our panelists. I would like to introduce Melanie DeBay, Community Education Director, Independent School District 318.
Good morning. So I'm Melanie with Itasca Area Community Education, working across the Itasca County. Community education, we strive to bring learning opportunities to our community that allow people to connect with each other and learn new skills. So we are working diligently right now to redevelop and design our programs and events so we can still bring positive opportunities to our community. I'll share some of those with you today. So we're excited to be able to offer some in-person learning opportunities. We are putting health and well-being as our top priority. So we have a COVID plan in place, policies we are following, and following MDH guidelines for the well-being of our community. This fall, we have many events that are going to be happening outdoors or pickup events. So we're offering some free family children's first events across the county. We have a pumpkin pickup night in Coleraine on October 5th. And a pumpkin pickup night in Deer River on October 22nd, where families can get free pumpkins and decorating kits. We partner with the Grand Rapids Library, offering our Artastic at Home, where families can pick up art kits on October 5th and 6th, and then follow along with an instructor at home on October 7th. They'll be doing this across the months of November and December as well. There'll be Creatures of the Night held at the Edge of the Wilderness in Marcel Family Center on October 16th, an outside event. A costume party at the Children's Discovery Museum on October 24th. Scarecrow making in Big Fork on October 28th. We're offering star watching outside with Mike Lynch at the Coleraine Golf Course on November 5th. Also with McCrosty Art Center, they offer every second Saturday a family create event, which is held outside. And Dreams Come True Dance will be offering Sensory Saturdays on the first Saturday of every month. Other events that are happening for our youth across the county, we're offering yoga in Coleraine, kids art classes. We have mountain biking classes at Tioga Trails. We're offering sewing classes, canvas painting classes, coding classes. And we also have a popular parenting class coming up this fall for fun and easy ways to help my elementary student with math. It's taught by one of our math teachers here in ISD 318. Some other adult offerings happening across our community to keep adults connected with each other and learning new skills. We have our making wool mittens classes, needle felting classes, knitting classes, yoga trance and belly dance, palette Christmas tree making, basic automotive classes, banjo classes, Enneagram type classes, dog training classes, and free financial classes. We're also offering mini classes online virtually. So if you are interested in still connecting, we have some virtual opportunities, compelling conversations for vital aging, life outside the lines, upping focus, happiness, and well-being, aromatherapy, driver's safety, and some online certificates. So we're trying to offer a variety of different opportunities for our community to still connect. Our in-person classes, we are social distancing, mask wearing, hand washing, and asking participants to stay home when they're not feeling well. We have a very fluid refund policy right now, so we're able to offer classes and still, if people can't attend, we're refunding. So please note that. But all of our class sizes are limited, so registration is required. You must register online at getlearning.org or call 327-5730. And this is for all of our classes. Many of our opportunities are free this year, but we're still asking that our community go in and register so we know who will be there. So we want to thank the community for trusting us with your needs for enrichment, connection, and learning. And we are putting health and safety as our top priority. Our motto is every day is a day to learn, and we'd like you to be a part of it. For more information, visit getlearning.org or give us a call. Thanks.
Thank you, Melanie. We'd now like to introduce Joni Namis, Director of Mission Advancement, Itasca Family YMCA.
Good morning. We want our community to know that the YMCA is open and ready to welcome you back. Our current hours are 5 a.m. to 9 p.m. Monday through Friday and 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. on Saturday. We will expand those Saturday hours and open on Sundays beginning November 7th. We have many new cleaning and disinfecting protocols in place to keep our staff and members safe. We ask that you wear masks when you are not physically active. All areas of the Y are open with the exception of the saunas. And to stay within social distancing and capacity guidelines, we recommend reservations for some areas, including our studio and water classes. Our class schedule is nearly back to normal. Many of our studio classes are available virtually also, so you can work out with your favorite instructor right in your own home. We have even added a couple of new formats, including Pop Pilates and Box Fit. Reservations are easy to make on our website at ymcaitasca.org or call 327-1161. If you would like a break from your younger children, Kids Zone Child Watch while you work out is also open again. Kids Zone is available weekday mornings and afternoons, along with Saturday mornings. More information on Kids Zone guidelines may be found on our website. Families with younger children are welcome to utilize our gymnasium, pool, racquetball courts, and outdoor courts. Parent Tot Time is back on Mondays and Wednesdays, but we are now hosting that in one of our racquetball courts. The Active Living Center is open weekdays for the public from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. and again from 3 to 6 p.m. We do not have scheduled activities at this time, but you are welcome to come in and enjoy the space. We also have reinstated youth sports. We are just wrapping up flag football and soccer this week, and you can currently register for floor hockey, swim team, and swim lessons. Watch for more information on upcoming youth sports, including pond hockey, basketball, cheerleading, dodgeball, babysitting classes, and more. We will be holding our annual Family Harvest Fest on Monday, October 26th. Watch for more information. It will be available soon, and registration will be required this year through Children First due to limited attendance. In closing, I just want to remind our community members that we never require a contract, and it is the Y's mission to make healthy living attainable for all. Please reach out for more information on our income-based memberships to help during this difficult time. We will work with you to find a membership rate that will fit in your family budget. All of this and more is available on our website at ymcaitasca.org, and please follow us on Facebook. Don't hesitate to reach out and call us at 327-1161, and we will help in every way we can. Thank you.
Thank you, Joni. I will now introduce Dan Mell, Activities Director and Dean of Students, Independent School District 316.
Well, thank you for having me. The Minnesota State High School League is meeting today about the traditional winter sports, football, or not football, sorry, girls basketball, boys basketball, girls hockey, and boys hockey. Wrestling, I'm sure, will be in there as well. With the fall sports wrapping up, we have swimming and girls tennis, cross country for boys and girls starting their section play coming up. Girls tennis, I know Grand Rapids and Greenway, they play home games tonight, Thursday and tomorrow, Friday, and then they start sections on Monday, October 5th, I believe it is. They play Cloquet-Esco Carleton in the first round as a number 4 seed. And then the Iron Range Conference, kind of Itasca and St. Louis coming, I guess. They have a conference meet coming up next Tuesday, and then they start sections. and then swimming and diving as well. And we don't have swimming right now, so I can't give you a real great update on when those are, but it's a big meeting today to talk about what's going on in the future, state tournaments, if they're going to have them, if they're not going to have them, and how they would look, and also how it's going to look for games if they're going to be down from 24 to 20 or different numbers like that. So right now, with the football and volleyball just starting this past week, teams are getting rolling around October 9th. And with that, we're trying to figure out, there's some quirks with trying to get these teams in, like a football team of your normal 60 to 70 kids in their pod sizes of 25 and what that looks like. But, the kids just want to get out and move and play and have fun. They've been cooped up, a lot of them for a couple months now, and to get out there and hit a volleyball and play football, it's just great to see the energy these kids have, and they're all very resilient with wearing their masks to practice, away from practice, and things like that. So it's great to see that they're just wanting to get out there, and so it's an exciting time to be an activities director with everything starting back up. It was getting kind of boring there with nothing going on for games and activities. So it's nice to see them getting out and getting rolling again, and with some of the extra precautions and locker rooms limited and things like that. They're very resilient, just want to get playing. So they're happy to do anything.
Thank you, Dan.
Yep.
And we will move to Heather Schenken, STEP Coalition Coordinator and Deer River Campus Life Coordinator.
Oh, good morning, everybody. So I've been asked to wrap up this awesome panel and talk about being positive, and which is a good fit because I just want to share a little bit about like how we use that in our work that we do in prevention, and I use it with doing campus life and so many aspects of working with youth around being positive. And just to dig a little bit more into positive, I sometimes feel like we use that term so loosely, like, hey, just stay positive, or we tell kids, hang in there. But what does being positive mean? And what is it, what can it look like? And how do we get there? And so I thought I would just share something that I was introduced to 10 years ago that I found that made a really big impact on our community and myself personally, was this framework that we were introduced. And I know several different people that are on the panel have been through this kind of training. I know Kelly has, and it's called Science of the Positive. And I'm sharing it with you guys today because, like I said, it made a big impact on us. But what I really love about it is it allows you sort of to be this like active participant in how you choose to see things and how you choose to be positive. So many times things that are thrown our way, especially with youth and different things, and with some things, being canceled and some things being added. I mean, there's constant change going on right now all the time. And I think getting to choose to see what's good every day is a very, very powerful thing. And I think that's kind of where the power lies in too, is that we get to choose to see what is good in our own life. So it's not like somebody can come alongside you and say, hey, this is what you're going to see good today. What you choose to see good is your own. And I think that that's just a really powerful thing to remember when we're talking about being positive and encouraging youth and community members about that. It's more about being, again, like an active participant. You get to choose to do this. And so I just want to encourage everybody, as you're kind of going throughout your day, and we all know this, we've all had times and different things where we see something that's just really just kind of inspires us, especially when you're working with community and with youth. It's like something so simple as a student smiling or whatever, a conversation with a friend, or practicing your faith, whatever it is. It's really about choosing to see that. So as you kind of go out through your day, I hope this is an encouraging thing, but just remember the phrase, see the good, because I know that's something that I do both professionally and personally, is see the good. So when things maybe aren't always going the way that we want it to, we can kind of take that little phrase and just work that. And that's really all I have. I just wanted to encourage everybody with that. So thanks, and good luck to everybody.
Thank you, Heather. And now we will move into the question and answer portion of our press briefing. We do ask that the media submit your questions via chat along with your name and the organization you represent. We have a question from Beth from ICTV. I'm hearing unsubstantiated reports of people receiving letters saying they are testing positive, but saying they never completed a test. Have you heard about this in our community? Very great question and very timely. So interestingly, the Minnesota Department of Health addressed this at 2 p.m. yesterday on their media briefing that they're hosting almost daily. And they too have been receiving reports, and they've tried to dig in and receive information that can be verified that this is actually occurring, and they have not been able to verify that this is actually happening. And locally, I just actually last evening was reading some of that feedback about that, and we have not heard locally that folks are receiving letters that they were positive for COVID. Actually, what I should say is there are community members who are saying they've heard of other people doing it, but what I have requested is that those calls be directed to Itasca County Public Health Information Line 327-6784, because we have not been able to verify a name or an event of anyone local that this has actually occurred with. It's more, oh, I heard that people are, or I know people that are, but we haven't necessarily heard someone call in that we can verify and substantiate. And so we definitely don't want this happening if this is happening. So please don't hesitate to reach out to public health and let us know what the situation is, who it involves, what event it is, or what organization did the testing, so we can, or where the letter came from, who it came from. Was it the Minnesota Department of Health? Was it a local clinic and hospital? And we want to hear that feedback, and we will take it very seriously and investigate. Beth from ICTV to Mr. Mel. There are petitions going around for fans to be able to attend in-building sports like volleyball. Do you have any feeling where the high school league is standing on fans?
I think that they have panels of Minnesota Department of Health and following guidelines with that. And right now, yeah, it is tough because you're going to open up football, which is, outdoor for the majority of the facilities in Minnesota. There might be a couple indoor facilities, but I think everybody plays outdoors. So we're allowed the 250 people to socially distance around the fields. And I know that's left distaste in some of the volleyball. It starts with parents that want to watch their senior, junior kids play volleyball. And right now with it being indoor, that's just not an option. And I know there is a let's let them watch organization going around, through different social media outlets. But right now, I don't think, my gut feeling is they're going to let it stay, and we're not going to be allowed to have fans in the buildings. And it's just, we want to stop this spread and help keep these numbers down so the students can stay in school and, or hybrid. But, if we allow these big gatherings, we're going to get numbers that are higher. And then if we're forced to go distance learning, then all of athletics shuts down. And so, it's kind of a catch-22. I know parents want to see their kids play, and I know people want to watch the girls play. And but we also have to be cognizant that we don't want these numbers to spike and shut all of the sports down. So that's kind of where we're at. I guess I'm leaning towards that. We're not going to have fans in the games at any indoor facilities.
Thanks, Dan. And there was a follow-up to me. Has public health had any input on this? I have not had any input on it from local public health. I can only assume that there are Minnesota Department of Health folks that are in conversations with the Minnesota State High School League, but locally we have not. If for some reason that fans are allowed, if that changes and there were questions or concerns locally from our school districts, we of course would be a resource for how to do that safely. Kathy Lynn from KOZY. Kelly, in general, how are the children doing? Are schools seeing kids coming to school who should be staying home? And do the districts answer to public health? The feedback I have received is that the kids are doing great. They're so happy to be back in school. Masking with students has, maybe an issue here or there, but really in general, kids are doing great. And Dan and Heather, if either of you have other feedback on that, we really haven't heard negatives coming directly from the students. Maybe I'll pause there and let Heather and Dan add in if you have any other thoughts on how the students are doing.
Well, with my position as Dean of Students and Activities Director, we have some students that need to be taught to wear the mask above their nose. But other than that, it's been going pretty well. We don't have many issues. Every once in a while, a kid will get on the bus and forget their mask, but that's usually early in the morning, and we have all of our buses have masks, so they get a mask if they forget theirs on the bus. But when they get into school, we have pairs at every doorway, and they have masks readily available. But we see 2, 3 a day that they forget their mask, and there's been no issues with that, other than some of them don't fit properly. You get those gaiters or something like that where they don't fit exactly the way they should, and they fall down below their nose, and they have to pick them up. But other than that, it's been going well. Heather, I don't know what you're seeing over at Deer River, but
yeah, so I've been allowed to be in the classrooms at different times just to help out with subbing because I'm already in the building, and so that's been a really real plus. And so it was interesting. We were just talking about this because the first week of school, it was very, very quiet. So we're hybrid. We were hybrid from the beginning over here, and so there was some kind of, I think, for some students, some loss of they had their friends. And they weren't all, some of their friends weren't on the blue day, they were on the gold day. And so the first week was really quiet. But then it seems like with every week that goes on, the energy just gets better and better. And so I thought that's been really kind of a fun thing to see that students they're adapting. And that's what I love about kids. All of us that work with kids, we know that they're the most adaptable beings out there. And as far as masks, they impress me so much because I thought the mask thing would be a really huge thing that kids would refuse to wear them. Being in the classroom and just being in the hallway and hanging out with kids, I see kids wear their masks. Yeah, that's not been an issue from my standpoint of being, like I said, as a sub in a room or even in the hallways. So kids just constantly impress me. So it's been really, really good.
Thanks. The next part to that question was, are schools seeing kids coming to school who should be staying home? There have been some cases of that happening. I don't know that it's the majority. We haven't necessarily heard that. Certainly with moving into the fall and moving indoors and allergies are present, colds are present. We're moving into influenza season. There's really the school making decision tree with the symptoms really adheres to certain guidelines. And so there have been some kids sent home. There certainly have been some kids who have been close contacts that have had to quarantine. So there have been some incidents, but the school districts are managing it. They have great leaders and great staff. And yeah, so has it happened? Yes, but our school's managing, yes. Melanie, you're on a lot of different calls that with school staff. Have you heard anything different in that regards?
No, I've seen very positive things in the schools, and kids and families are following guidelines. Yes, kids are coming to school with a cough or something, but the nurses are seeing them and monitoring those symptoms and sending kids home when they need to. It's been a very positive experience, and there hasn't been much or any of kid-to-kid contact or exposure where it's been passed on from one kid to the next. They're wearing masks and very positive about it.
Thanks. The final part of that question from Kathy is, do the districts answer to public health? And no, they do not. We are definitely in a partnership, all the districts, and even broader than Itasca County, the IASC. We inform decision-making, and a lot of that has to do with our cases within the county. If we had a significant concern, would we share that? Yes, but the school districts also have the ability to look at what's happening within their district, within their community, within their buildings. So yes, we don't have the power to say you have to close tomorrow and we have authority over that. That is not the case at all. But we are working closely together, and I was just on a meeting this morning, and we discussed how much we value the local relationships and partnerships we have established, and that's what we'll continue to do as we move forward. All right, other questions from the media? And I do see we are at 10:31. Okay, seeing none, thank you all for joining.
At Grand Rapids State Bank, we've been a trusted financial advisor to our customers since 1914. We're local, community bankers who understand what it takes to manage a business through thick and thin. Grand Rapids State Bank, your community bank, serving people throughout the Northland.